Ladies and gentlemen, it's good to see you again. We are back at the arena. It is a brand new year and we're excited to get this year kicked off. Mr. Blue has had a few days off and I do believe he's a little fresh. So we're gonna get him saddled and get this thing underway. So a while back I did a video on how to saddle a horse, and actually Maddie and I did kind of a side-by-side comparison, but I don't think I went into too much detail as far as how to saddle a horse. So that's what I want to do. I want to go through, you know, each individual little step by step, and that way I can kind of explain a little bit better to you. Step number one is to obviously get your horse nice and cleaned off. He's pretty clean already, so that's why I just have this. Otherwise, I would grab a normal brush, but want to just kind of get him cleaned off. That way you can put the pad and everything on him, and it's a nice clean surface. Step number two is to grab your saddle pad and get it thrown on your horse. I try to put it generally where I think it's going to go. Obviously you can do some you know, you can kind of do some adjustments once the saddle's on. So I like to figure where my cinch and everything is going to go, which is right behind the shoulder, and I just want to kind of put that pad up there so that way I, you know, only have minor movements whenever I get the saddle thrown up there. All right, step number three, saddle. So if you need to make a small little adjustment to where this is because your horse moved around like Blue did a little bit, that's all right. Then get your saddle thrown up and in the general location of where it's supposed to go. Now, one thing that's crucial is to lift your saddle pad. That's going to help alleviate some, you know, stress and some kind of pressure points in here. So make sure you got a little bit of a air pocket in there and you're moving on. So I usually have the girth and back cinch thrown over the saddle just like this. This is how I store it. You can obviously store it a few different ways. I just like this way, and you know, it's just my personal preference. So on this off side, I like to go ahead and kind of get everything, you know, ready for me to pull it underneath. Sometimes it gets tangled up in here, so just make sure it's all ready to go, and you're gonna walk back on the other side. Now, here's the next big step. When you're talking about your girth, you want it to be right behind their shoulder, right? You want everything to be nice and level. So this is a little bit far back. I need to pull it up forward. So that way, whenever you pull it, it's gonna go right there, right behind his shoulder, right in line, everything is in line. So the very first thing that you're gonna wanna do is this front girth. You're gonna reach underneath and pull it right up where it's gonna go. You wanna make sure that everything is nice and in line. It's right behind his shoulder blade, your saddle, and everything is perfectly in line. And obviously he's being a little bit of a wiggle worm today, but that's okay. Run it through. If you need to make any other adjustments, you can. But you're gonna run it through, or at least I do. I run it through once, and then a second time down through the girth. And then I don't cinch it up very tight. I just want it kind of snug. That way I can make some more adjustments and keep going. And then after I'm done with everything, I'll come back through and tighten everything up. Next thing I do is the breast collar. Now this breast collar is gonna go to this front D-ring up here, and that's gonna hold this breast collar up. Now, if you ride the same horse all the time, you're gonna have, like in this case, you're gonna have just this kind of one wear spot. That's where I go every single time. That's where I found that it's best on this horse and this saddle. So top one is gonna go through this top D-ring, and then I run it back down through the girth on this bottom side. That's gonna make sure that it doesn't fling up any further than it needs to. A lot of this is just kind of trial and error and, you know, making some adjustments. And then, like, if you're like me and you just ride one horse with one saddle, it'll be just there and you don't have to really worry about it again. Final major step is the back cinch. You're gonna do just like the same on the front. What you want to make sure on this too is that this is lining up, that it's not too far back or too far forward. Now you have, let me see real quick, you have a piece of leather or neoprene or something underneath, and you can make adjustments to this, but you want to make sure that this front girth is right in line with his shoulder, and then this back cinch is not too far forward or too far back. Nice right there in the middle, and you can make adjustments to that right here. So that's pretty simple. Now that I've got everything where I want it, what I'll do right before I get on is kind of make any other adjustments. If I need to move the saddle pad a little bit, I will. And really what you're going to do from here is just tighten up your front girth and then your back cinch, and you're ready to roll. So not super complicated, but it is a little bit different for everybody. This is just how I like to do it personally. And now we need to get them all tightened up and get to riding. Now when I tighten up, what I do is, I've already gone through twice. What I'm going to do is go through one more time. And I do this just to give him some tightness in the beginning, but I don't want to make him cinchy, right? I don't want to really just suck this thing down on him, especially if we haven't ridden him in a few days. So I go through a third time, and then I cinch it up to about the second hole, and then I'll cinch this up just a little bit. And once I get on him and get to riding and get him warmed up, it will change a little bit. But what I'll do is I'll probably go up another hole on each after I get him warmed up. So that's generally how you do it. Super simple, super easy. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, shoot me a comment down below, and I'll try to do some more of these videos. I think they're really kind of fun. Like today, where we don't have a ton of like vlogging content, it's fun for me to do this sort of stuff. So if you enjoyed it, let me know in the comment section below. Leave a like. Make sure that you go subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.